This video is recorded on the same day as where I recorded the Bournemouth one, so I hope you guys have enjoyed that video. Welcome to when we talk about other teams as a West Ham fan, as the countdown to the Premier League season. All 20 teams, including West Ham, will be spoken about. And if you are new here, please like and subscribe. The second team is Arsenal, because technically it's AFC Bournemouth, not Bournemouth, and that comes before Arsenal. I don't make the rules. That's the alphabet. Latest news is actually to do with Arsenal's kit, but we're going to be talking about Arsenal in general. Arsenal's kit is shocking. I think Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool need to stop, and Chelsea need to stop these like neon green yellow kits. I'm on board with some of them. Arsenal used to make sick yellow kits back in the day. When I mean back in the day, I mean when I was like 10 years old. But over the years, you see some very good Arsenal. Like, their kits last season were really good. Their home kit, even this season, wasn't all that. Although the gold stripes do look nice, I think that was in hope. Not just about the Invincibles, but the fact that they were hoping that they were going to win the league from the previous season. Now, obviously, as a West Ham fan, I'm a bit gutted that Declan Rice has gone to Arsenal. Because I don't particularly like Arsenal. It's not a West Ham fan thing, because West Ham and Arsenal are not direct rivals. But I just don't like Arsenal. But Arsenal have made signings. They have made signings of Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Jurriën Timber. Now, Declan Rice and Jurriën Timber are major improvements on what they have. The El Nene is coming in for Thomas Partey, and maybe Thomas Partey stays, and maybe it's Rice, Partey, Odegaard, but Kai Havertz was signed to play in midfield. Arteta said it himself. It gives you more versatility or something like that in midfield. That's directly what Mikel Arteta said. And Jurriën Timber makes sense due to his versatility, which is probably a big buzzword in football nowadays. So him playing in defensive midfield, centre back and right back, it'll probably be more of an upgrade on Tomiyasu to take the thing of all the heat off Ben White and all the playing time off Ben White when he needs to be rested. Ben White had an amazing season, probably the best right back apart from Kieran Trippier overall in the Premier League season. And with them playing Champions League, Arteta has a habit of throwing away cup competitions, but he's obviously not going to throw away the Champions League. Arsenal have literally waited so long to get back in there, but I've never even challenged under probably an underrated manager that is Arsene Wenger. But the squad players like that will be needed. And there's also an upgrade on if Saliba or Gabriel get injured, Kivior and Timber can come in instead of Rob Holding. Now, we can't talk about height when it comes to centre-backs. I think Lisandro Martinez put that thing in the bed last season when it came from short centre-backs from Ajax. And Jurriën Timber isn't small. He's not that tall either. But I don't think that matters when it comes to aerial ability if you can leap. But for example, a great example in my opinion is Brian Mbeumo from Brentford. The man can leap like no other. And he's like 5'9". And so I think that's a bit of a myth. But Declan Rice, obviously, I'm a West Ham fan. I've watched Declan Rice for 6 years. 5 years. 5 years. He was more than first team 2018 as a third centre-back or whatever. The 17-18 season. Maybe it was 2017. But we know how good Declan Rice is as West Ham fans. And I think under attacking coaches, he was obviously going to go to either Arteta or Pep. Man City didn't pay enough money. Arteta and Arsenal eventually paid enough money. And he was going to go to an attacking coach regardless. And this is going to develop his ability. Because even this season, when we had an outlet like Lucas Paquetá, you can see more line-splitting passes from Declan Rice. And I think you'll see that more under Arsenal. But is Thomas Partey going to stay? Because then they'll need another midfielder. But what role is Jorginho going to play? Is he going to play the 6? Are they going to play a double pivot? Because Jorginho ain't going to play the Xhaka role. Is Arteta happy enough with Jorginho as the backup? Then El Nene as an emergency backup? I don't know what Arteta sees in Kai Havertz, I'll be honest. Like, Jurriën Timber and Declan Rice, top signings, but Kai Havertz, And I'm not even going to go off the whole skill challenge thing they did yesterday. That's a bit of banter or whatever. But they've got some really, really good players, but Kai Havertz makes no sense. Now, Granit Xhaka had one good season at Arsenal, and Arsenal fans were begging for him to stay, which is funny. But Kai Havertz is a huge downgrade, even on what Xhaka is. And Xhaka wanted to go back to Germany eventually anyway. I'm pretty sure there was rumours of that happening last year. Or he wanted to leave for Roma 2 years ago. Or was it a year ago? I don't remember. But I think it was around the Euros, actually, too. So it must have been 2 years ago. Where he went, it was 2 years ago, where he wanted to go to Roma under Jose Mourinho, which would have made sense. That would have made sense. Mourinho likes those type of players, but maybe too many red cards and with too much defensive responsibility. When Xhaka finally has a good season after his 8-year stint at Arsenal, or 7-year stint, whenever it was, they're begging for him to stay, which is funny. But Kai Havertz makes no sense in the midfield, because when has Kai Havertz ever been creative? If he's playing up front, when has Kai Havertz ever been a good finisher? Good penalty taker, good first touch. That's where it ends. But with surrounding around better players and a more cohesive team, will Kai Havertz bring something? Now the problem is, if you're going to have a Kai Havertz, Rice, Erdogan midfield, let's say that's the example, let's say that is the midfield, what happens off the ball? You're going to make Rice do everything off the ball. You're going to have to... Because Martinelli and Saka work hard. They track back whenever they can to help out their fullbacks, avoiding them getting overloaded in the wide areas. But what is Kai Havertz going to contribute to that? Is he just going to stay high up the pitch? Is he even going to contribute? Because Odegaard covers a lot of ground, presses high, but he shouldn't be having defensive responsibility that much either. With Kai Havertz, that doesn't make any sense, because just because he's tall doesn't mean he's good in the air, which is another myth that Arsenal fans like to push out there. And another thing is this enough for Arsenal to challenge for the league again, which it should be the standard for a club like Arsenal. But listen, we will see. I think Arsenal probably need another massive number 9, and because they've got cover on the left, they've got cover on the right. Reece Nelson, they should play him more if you're going to give him a new deal. Good player, and he could definitely do the job coming in if Saka gets injured for now and then. Reece Nelson can do a good job. I'm not saying he should be starting, but he is the guy to take pressure off Saka, in my opinion. Because even in the title challenge, you need them players that are not necessarily starters that can come in. I don't know whether Enquiries is that for Jesus, because they're both frustrating players. Jesus is an amazing footballer, but not an amazing striker. And Jesus off the right as well is amazing. Jesus off the wing, bit more simple, and delivers the ball into a proper finisher. But I'm not sure. I don't think Arteta wants a striker. Even if Balogun goes, for example, because I think he likes the mobile false 9 kind of thing, because that's how Arsenal play. It's interesting to see that the news on Kieran Tierney has gone quiet, because I think that's someone that Newcastle should go for, but we'll talk about that in another video. And can Tierney continue to play the inverted role that Zinchenko plays? Because in build-up, Zinchenko going inverted, and then Kai Havertz on the same side, the left centre mid role. Martinelli's going to have to do a lot, and so is Gabriel. You're kind of putting a lot of your players in the mud, but then again, Declan Rice has had to deal with Aaron Cresswell on the left hand side of covering for him, so maybe Declan Rice will be used to that. But he's going to have to do that on both sides if that's the midfield. But that is my opinion on Arsenal. So yeah, if you guys did like the video, leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Social medias are in the description if you want to follow me, and email for the inquiries. Yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow.